Hello everyone, and welcome to the first of the events videos for Let's Play Prototype. A small thing about events, very easy to understand. Events will be displayed on the minimap, and when you go to do an event, you'll be graded based on your performance, bronze, silver, or gold. If you get all gold in every event, once we've actually unlocked them all, we will have access to the platinum level, which is the even harder ones, more than gold. But, of course, we don't get access to the platinum level events until the end of the game, so that's a long ways off at this point. Seeing as we only have 2 at the very beginning of the game, right after the tutorials. You can check what events you have in the Events tab. We have 5 different categories, and because it's the beginning of the game, we only have Movement category. 2 of them, anyways. High Flying and Eavesdropping. So let's start with eavesdropping in order to get acquainted. And yes, I did do some cleanup before we're going up there. Every event has this wonderful field around it, nice and green and glowy. And when you start the event, you get access to a bunch of information, including what times you have to beat. Usually events have either times you have to beat, distances you have to be close to, or amount of kills. That kind of thing. So movement events involve you controlling Alex and doing a specific course, getting through all of the waypoints. In terms of whether this is your first time playing or not, movement events are really good for learning how to control Alex to the best of his abilities. And being that this is the beginning of the game still, these are very, very helpful. Especially with this kind of place where you have to do 90-degree turns or do movements like that. Now, with these 2 events, I will be doing them with absolutely no upgrades, which makes them even harder than they need to be. I won't be doing them for all of them, especially because that's not really interesting, and such movements like that can also just kill your time instantly. But we're still good enough for silver, even though we haven't even upgraded him whatsoever at this point. So being completely minimalist, how are you able to even get a gold on this course? Well, it really has to do a lot more with speed than it has to do... Well, of course it has to do with speed, but it has to do with keeping the momentum and keeping a general amount of speed at all times. Also, being able to do 90-degree turns very effectively is also helpful. And what I've learned from doing this course over and over and over again is that in order to keep your top speed for as long as you can, once you get up to as fast as you think you can go, just keep jumping over and over and over. It will actually shave a lot of seconds off your time in the end. And there we have it. 43.2. Which is still good enough for a gold. But that's all we're really here for at this point. It's all nice and shiny. Now, of course, we're not just doing this for just the awards and the appraisal, because every event, whenever you clear it, you get additional EP, which you can look up by either going over to the icon or in the menu. At this point, each event gives us 13,000 evolution points. So let's head over to High Flying. I just can't leave things well enough alone, can I? Now, eavesdropping was pretty much a traditional kind of course. High Flying, on the other hand, is a bit different. High Flying deals with vertical courses, just getting up to the top of the tower and back down in the quickest amount of time. So this event really has you learn about the most effective way and the quickest way of scaling tall buildings. And now we have to get down, but it's a little bit difficult, but really cool. Now, of course, that's not good enough, but it is still good enough for silver, but we want the gold. So let's see about being even tighter about it. One thing I've noticed about Alex's movements is that when he's scaling a tower and it has multiple tiers, like this building, he tends to jump into the next tier. Such as with this jump, I'm jumping from the very edge and I'm jumping upwards and inwards in order to touch the next wall instantly, which shaves a lot of time off. And... no, not good enough. 26 seconds, we got 26.2. So we gotta do it again. Third and final time. You have to be sharp. You have to be sharp, consistent, and be in a relatively straight line. Time your jumps effectively so you're not wasting unnecessary time because you're just kind of hovering around in the air with no way of getting up. I also noticed that waypoints have kind of an interesting and annoying kind of hitbox, and even though this was really sloppy at the end, I still have enough time. But yeah, that's one thing I find about movement events and the hitboxes for them. But that'll be it for this events video. Next time we'll be looking at other events that we will unlock as we progress further into the game. See you next time, everyone.